Okay, here we go with our 2-week Japan trip with 35 destinations and about 6 prefectures that we hit up while there. We left from DFW to LAX and LAX to Tokyo, Tokyo to Okinawa, and we decided on the Busena Terrace for the beautiful ocean view that we had, and we wanted to open up the vacation with relaxing for the first 2 days, so we decided on that location. Now, just a side note here, I was able to get these drone shots because I went through the permitted website online for Japan flying drones, and hope you guys enjoy it. Now, my wife was able to get her driver's license in order to drive us around over there, not the entire time, but for unique spots we wanted to go to that were easier to drive to than train. So we wanted to go to the Okinawa Aquarium and let the kid look at all the beautiful fish. And on the way, we stopped and got some adult beverages, and we just love the assortment over here at the 7-Elevens and the Lawsons and whatnot. Here we are at the entrance of it. What a beautiful, beautiful place. There weren't a lot of people in line to get in, but once we got in, it seemed fairly busy. But we two-stepped it around, sort of kept the pace going, didn't hoo and ha at everything, but we definitely wanted to see some of the larger tanks. Now here's a couple clips of what we saw inside of the aquarium, but quickly became a fan of the manta ray. They have some of the largest ones in the world there, and boy, were they beautiful and spectacular to look at, and the kid and wife loved to check them out.
Here he comes again. Here he comes again. Whoa. He is a big boy. Now he's bigger than me.
Yes, I am American, but we did have to stop by the A&W for a burger. I've heard these things are very lean and taste a bit different than they do in the States, and yeah, they definitely do. It was fun to go inside. They had a bunch of American-style stuff for the locals or for visitors that wanted to get that American feel or that American atmosphere, and we just stopped in for a couple drinks and a couple burgers before we moved on with our next stop at Underwater Observatory. Now, the Busena Terrace had an underwater observatory, but in all honesty, I feel like the view going to that was actually more spectacular than anything. You could see the fish straight from up above, and you can feed them from up above. We did do the observatory. It was a little congested in there, but we do recommend going outside and just feeding them at the end of the pier there. There's a place you can get some feed for the fish and throw it in, and they definitely know that the visitors are throwing it in daily. There's tons of different style fish, and you can see them clear as day. Now for dinner, we didn't want to go to some cheesy, overpopulated place that was, long lines and whatnot. We wanted the authentic feel, so the wife chose a sort of not a downtown, there's no downtown, but we wanted that local atmosphere. So we decided on Enmaru, this little local spot that was actually fairly busy. It seemed like a bunch of locals went there after work. We're drinking, having a good time, and we just sort of absorbed the atmosphere and had a chance to try out some really good food. My wife is Japanese, so I was able to try out a lot of different stuff that she recommended. Tossed back a couple beers, and man, the food was excellent. Had a really, really good time there, and was a great way to end the evening. Leaving Okinawa, we were headed to Hiroshima, so we took a bus to the airport, flew into Tokyo, and then took another train to Hiroshima. And upon entering the train station, a lot of us were hungry, so we decided on the local food court there. They had a lot of food and options for us, so that was a perfect place to land. Now, as you can see here at the food court at the Hiroshima train station, everything was clean. It was fairly quiet. There were lots of people, but there were an abundance of places that you can choose from. We did decide on Pacho, so I'll come back to that later, but I just wanted to go through here and show everybody the amount of restaurants there are inside of this food court. But we had a larger group, I'd say 4, technically 5, so it was a little bit harder to get seating. As the group got larger throughout our trip, it got more difficult to suit us. So that I would keep an idea of how big your group is, and the smaller the better, really, even with the taxis and whatnot. But I'll stop talking and you can just check out the food. Now, as you get to Japan, you're quickly going to learn that the marts are a big thing there. You can get cash out, you can get food quickly, and get good food quickly. There seems to be a war between 3 different brands, the Family Mart, 7-Eleven, and Lawson. I quickly became a fan of Lawson just because of the assortment of food you could buy. It's not to say the other ones are bad, it just had everything I needed every time I went in. So it was fun to try out different stuff. It was fresh, delivered, it seemed like twice a day, if not more. But it was some really good food, and I became a frequent shopper of this place. Now, with all the walking that you do in Japan, depending on how many days you're there, but you're definitely still going to walk a lot. These marts became really important. Even the energy drinks tasted different over there. So I would go in, grab a quick snack for me or the family, and try out different stuff every time I stop. Now, what was really cool is they have a lot of vitamins and energy that you don't get here in the States. So I was able to not get sick the entire time I was there by popping those. Okay, one of the stops I definitely wanted to hit up while on my vacation was Hiroshima. I am a big fan of history, and I wanted to not only read about it, but also see it. And so I wanted to see the memorial there and sort of take that in for the time. It was quite the sight to see in person and read the memorial plaques that are around that. But sort of a beautiful, obviously sad memorial. The surrounding areas of the memorial are definitely just as beautiful. Everything's very clean, and it's very quiet, especially early in the morning. People are going to work, the kids are going to school, and we'll be taking a boat out to Miyajima, and I think that's it right there. Now, the wife booked us a boat trip from Hiroshima, inside Hiroshima, instead of at the edge of the water close to the O-tori Gate, simply because we could book it in advance and make sure that we had tickets with the amount of people that were in our group. But it was about a 35-minute boat ride, and most people want to see the O-tori Gate, and that's beautiful. But I just really wanted to experience the small island and the assortment of food that was here, as well as the beverages, and I did such. Okay, little tip here. Before you head to Miyajima, you want to think about if you want to spend the entire day on the island or just visit for a few hours, whatnot, because of tide, as well as the expense of hotels, obviously limited on the island. But you can have a full day experience, do a lot of hiking, and see the entire island for what it is if you decide to spend the night. Or if you want to spend maybe half a day, you can go and just hit up sort of like the main part of the downtown, quote unquote, scene, the food and the amenities there. Now, we decided to do just a few hours on the island because of the size of our group, and I also was able to sneak off, as you'll see here in a little bit, to get some video shots up on a cliff. So I was able to spend the time I wanted here and able to get the photos and the video I wanted while also experiencing the island. And these deer are feisty. They seem to be the locals of this island and anxious to grab at anything that you leave around, but they're really fun to take pictures with and feed them little snacks if you want. And this is the O-tori Gate, of course. What a beautiful, beautiful shot here that I was able to get. Sort of step down close to the water. Now, the time that we were there, it was high tide, so the water was coming up, and you can see that sort of like a mini sandbar there. But it really made for some beautiful shots. During the evening, the water will may go back, and then you can actually walk out to the O-tori Gate. But for now, there was water, so it made for some really nice photos. I also found this little side path over here. And no one wanted to go up with me. It was actually really, really steep. You really can't tell, but I had something up my sleeve. I had a drone that I was permitted to fly while in Japan and was provided a serial number as long as I stayed within the correct areas to fly that I'm permitted, which I used an app for that. But I was trying to stay out of everyone's way and be respectful at the same time and also stay within the permitted area. And this was one of them, which I couldn't believe. But what a beautiful, beautiful view. And I was able to unpack the drone and let her fly. Miyajima offered a huge selection of food, drinks, ice cream, clothing, I mean, you name it, but the scenery was amazing. In the morning, wasn't quite so busy, but on our way out, it got really busy as the boats started coming in more and more. I'm not going to bore you with detailed analysis of the entire walk, but I go through a sort of a overview here of the food and the shops that are available there. As a side note, I'm not the biggest coffee drinker, but since I became a dad, I've started drinking. But this was definitely one of the best caramel lattes I've ever had. The wife recommended it, and once I had it, I wanted another. But we were limited on time, so I got to sit back for 10 minutes and just enjoy. Now it was time to start seeing some castles. So we started with Hiroshima and the Hiroshima Castle. It was a beautiful entrance that we did get to see, and I also dropped my camera down a drain and was able to get it out using my brain and some magnets. So I was lucky for that, to be able to get that back and able to provide this footage for everybody. But let's not bore you with the details. Let's just roll it into the montage. Now, after dropping my camera and getting it back the first time, I was set on not dropping it again, but I wanted to get this view from the top of the castle, which was just amazing. But as nice as these views were, I really wanted to check out the gardens. I have a garden at the house that I've sort of done with a Japanese style theme for my wife, so I wanted to check out as many gardens as I could over there. You know, the bonsais are one of my favorite, but also the cherry blossoms were starting to come in as it was May, and we were a little bit early, but they were still coming in, and as you can see, they were starting to come in full form. We're pretty pumped for this part of the trip. We got to take a bullet train to Kyoto. It was definitely my first time doing something like this, and I was excited to see what the experience was like. It was definitely smoother and a lot faster than I thought it was going to be, but overall it was a pleasant experience and a lot of fun. Now, upon arriving at Kyoto by train, I was able to unload my stuff and then take a walk by myself basically to a zone that I could fly the drone. So I was able to score this really beautiful shot. I was getting rained on, but I was at the edge of Kyoto and able to fly this thing over within the zone that I was permitted to. Now, I'm not one to recommend hotels, but Kyotology, the wife picked out, turned out to be a score because the rooms were a really nice size for us Americans, and the placement of where it was at, the destination, was sort of within a neighborhood, so it was nice and quiet, but it was not around a lot of amenities. But you know what? Room really counted for a lot for us as we had a child with us. So as you can see here, there was plenty of space, and we were tired at this point, so it was going to be nice to clean up and head to bed. Well, we got up early to see Kiyomuzadera. Probably slaughtered that, but Kiyomuzadera Temple. So we were trying to beat as many people as we could. We were sort of successful at that, but here's us hiking up, and I was a little bit taken back by how many people had already been there because we didn't really pass that many people. But these vans are delivering food and amenities, it looks like, to the shops and restaurants along the way. And I think we make a stop here at the local pastry where I was able to try out some food.
All right, this is it. Woo.
Now, I was definitely eating more than I do back home, but I was not gaining any weight that I was aware of. I think because of the cleanliness of the food, but also the amount of walking we did while we were there.
Oh, look, Emma. Strawberries.
Now we made it, and as you can see, it's still a little bit early morning, but there are definitely people there and some students, as you can see. I'm not going to bore you with talking about my entire experience there, but there's just a few videos here that are showing the surrounding area of the temple and some of the cool spots that I was able to find. Now with a view like this, you would think this would be a great opportunity for me to fly the drone and get some really nice shots, but after checking my app, this is definitely a red zone. Not able to fly here, but was able to use some handheld to get you guys some nice shots. Now I know you're going to say, why would you be into Japan and try more burgers? But this MOS Burger, which my wife recommended, was a must for me. So we stopped in on our way back from the temple and tried it out. It was definitely a lot different than I thought, and it was different than the A&W. There was a sauce, and it was sort of a simple burger, but it tasted really good and was very light. So once again, I think I'm eating a lot, but I didn't feel lethargic and I wasn't gaining any weight that I know of. Now, my wife had been planning this trip for quite some time, and she asked me if there was anything in particular I wanted to see, and I definitely wanted to see the Suntory Distillery. So she made plans to go to Yamazaki and check it out, but we had to take a lottery in order to get picked in order to do the tour. So we were lucky enough to get chosen for that. And although there were about 5 of us that were lottered to go, were able to go, only 3 of us were able to go, as my wife and my daughter were not able to do it. Tsutenkaku. What a beautiful place. I was blown away by how amazing the surrounding areas of this are. Now, yes, it is gold and it is beautiful in itself, but the surrounding area for me was just as nice. The water, the bonsais, and there weren't that many people at this time of the day, luckily. I was able to get some really nice shots and probably post them up in my house somewhere. Miyako Burger. This place was actually just right around the corner from our hotel, and Troy and I tried it a couple nights before, but he said that he didn't have any more plates for us. So we tried it the next day, and he said he doesn't make burgers like McDonald's, which he sure doesn't. I think that's a line he uses for everybody. But we wanted to try it out, and we were pretty stoked. As you can see here, the burger is definitely not like McDonald's, and actually he's competing to have one of the best burgers in Kyoto or Japan. So best of luck to him. And I grabbed myself a brew, a local IPA, while I was there. And we got up early in Kyoto to head out to Osaka Castle. But before our long day, we headed over to Cafe Amazon. The wife had looked up previously for us to get something nice and yummy in the morning, and this was just down the street from the hotel, and ended up being a really good spot. Actually, one of my favorites. I think I had a egg cheese sandwich and another latte, which was definitely one to remember. Now here we made it to Osaka Castle. Now it was early in the morning and it was quite the spectacle from outside, but it was quite the walk to get up into the castle, which I'll give you a montage here in a moment. I'm not going to give you a step-by-step, but we were definitely blown away by how many tourists had already made their way here in the morning, and by the time we ended up walking out, there was definitely an influx of people coming in. So we were able to get here in the morning, get some nice shots, get some nice videos, take it all in, but we were definitely happy to get off this castle before it got even crazier. But from the top here you can see the amazing views, so it was really nice to take it all in. Cherry blossoms hadn't quite come in yet, but still a spectacular sight. Tsutenkaku. Now I've been working on that pronunciation, but I think I nailed it. It's in Osaka, and we were able to get a taxi down here. A little bit of a party scene, more relaxed type feel. Definitely lots of food, lots of games and music, a lot of things for adults and kids to do. But it was a really fun time down here. I think the wife had her eyes set on some octopus that she's going to be grabbing here in a little bit, but I'll let you enjoy the scenery.
Let's find one. Let's find one PG-13. Look at that. Oh, a nipple. Look at that. Look at that. Hey. Wow.
Now, as you can see, the wife seemed to lock in on the big octopus on the side of the wall here. So she was on the hunt and found it, found herself some takoyaki. I think I'm pronouncing that somewhat correct, but she was nice enough to let me try it out, and I was surprised by how good it was. At this point, I'm sort of ashamed about how surprised I am at things. I should just take it for what it is, that this food's going to be good every time I try it. But if you're a fan of fish and if you're a fan of seafood, it's definitely a place to visit. More strawberries? Sure, why not? The group had been up early, but we had had some lunch, so we stopped by for some more sugar-coated candy. This one was apple candy, and then my wife had, I think, an apple candy, and the kid had some mandarin candies or whatnot. So definitely really good, and decided to pop one. Asahi lemon sour. I'm sure by now you've seen these things on the internet, but I hadn't. So my buddy tried one. I think my wife recommended it to him, and then I decided to try one. And I didn't become addicted, but I was definitely quenching my thirst pretty often with these bad boys. It's really cool. They have a fresh lemon inside, and they taste really good. And they're at vending machines and food marts and in pretty much everywhere you can look. Now, I'm not much of a gambler, but my buddy is. He tried his hand at pachinko slots, but they wouldn't take his money. Something about the slot machines would take the old money and not the new money, but he thought that was a bad sign, so he didn't play much actually at all. But we got a quick look inside. It definitely smelled and tasted like slot machines. Now, Dotonbori was cool. I wasn't going to take a photo next to the Running Man like everybody else, but we got here early in the morning and we thought we'd stand a good chance of getting some food and doing some light shopping, but I was making a quick stop at the Me Pig Cafe, obviously for the kid. Troy wasn't a big fan, but the kid was definitely pumped to pet a pig and to spend some time just relaxing from our trip already. And the food was turned out to be excellent as always, but I was a little taken back by how many people were here to shop. Actually, as you can see there was just so many that my buddy and I couldn't even go in and try on shoes or try on any shirts because there was simply nowhere to sit. So if you were aggressive and you enjoy that atmosphere, this was the place for you. But we decided to not really purchase anything, but just eat and enjoy the atmosphere for the time that we had there.
Pressure's on. Pressure's on. No video, no video. Huh? That's yours. Alright, let's still eat the paper. I got fucking...
On our way back to Kyoto from Dotonbori, my wife eyed a little knife shop that she thought I would like, and I was able to grab a really nice knife for myself, and I didn't get anything for anybody else, but it was a really cool place and highly recommend. Now, after traveling about 17,000 steps a day up until this point, we wanted to try out a sit-down restaurant that was sort of at the higher end. So this was around the corner from our hotel as well, and we were able to find this little gem. Now, we were 1 week into our trip, and it sure felt good to try out all these different types of food and have a nice cold one. So we tried a 5-course meal here at this restaurant, and as you'll see here in a little bit, we also were greeted by a geisha, which was really a treat for us and the kid, but we were able to get some photos with her, and we appreciate it. Here we are, early morning, headed over to Tokyo. We wanted to get that life experience of the downtown Tokyo scene, and that's what we got. So we're headed out, all 5 of us, and I highly recommend getting a Suica IC card. You can get a pass through all the trains. You can load it up with money, so you can get food at the vending machines, drugstores, and actually pay some stuff at the restaurants.
Okay, you gotta jump up again. We'll go down the stairs. Follow Daddy. Follow Daddy.
Best tips I can give anyone is get to know the train system. If you can get to know the train system, you can get around a lot easier, of course, but also it saves yourself a lot of time so you can see more things. Now, the wife was smart. She chose the Bay Hotel because of its destination location. It was actually right outside the train station, just about maybe half a mile away, but also had adequate space for us and was really nice. So it was in walking distance of restaurants, the train, and all the amenities that you can ask for, including Lawson's and whatnot. So that was great. So we woke up early next morning. The wife and I wanted to go see World Motor Life Corp, and they were happy to have us. So we walked again on foot and wanted to go over there to check out how their shop operated and the items they had in stock, and overall just wanted to see what kind of experience we can get. Very clean, very well put together shop. Had a bunch of parts in stock, and the owner and the parts managers were really cool. They greeted us very kindly and gave us a tour of the facility. Like you see, there's kids everywhere, and these little kids were so cute. Just had to stop for a second and say hi.
That was too cute.
Was it time to eat already? We stopped by this little pastry shop around the corner, and boy, was it good. You can see everything was fresh. They had a huge assortment of food, sandwiches, drinks, and stopped by and took advantage of it while we were there. Okay, this hot dog with some marinara sauce and some cheese was outstanding. Now, I tried to order another one, but I was like, you know what, maybe I shouldn't, so I grabbed myself a churro instead, and it was a chocolate sugar churro, which was really, really good. Now, it definitely was not my idea to go to Hello Kitty Land, but we had a couple people on our trip, as well as some people at home that wanted some stuff while we were there. So we did it. We're good people. We decided to get there early in the morning to try to beat everybody, but once again, to my surprise, there was already a large amount of people inside. But we went inside, we had a good time. I'm not going to go through everything with you guys, but there were quite a few things that were limited edition that you could only get while you were there. So we went ahead and purchased some stuff for some people at home, and were able to get those things and experience this for what it was. Now, at the beginning of this, and we were trying to get entered, is if you are a tourist, you do not have to make an appointment to take the tour. But if you are a local or you are Japanese, they actually require you to make a reservation beforehand for whatever reason. So I'm not going to go through this thing step by step. I'm going to give you a quick little montage and so show you the inside of this place. Here we had just picked up 2 more kiddos, as if we needed more people, but we're up to 7, so we're looking good and staying strong. And we were headed to Sunshine City for some light shopping and for some sightseeing. Now we went to Big Camera, thinking that they would have a camera brace for something I broke, but upon entering and checking almost nearly every floor, we spoke to somebody and were notified that actually across the street there was the actual camera gear. So my loss is your gain. Here you go with a little montage of the inside of the store. They seem to have everything under the sun, which is cool. But here you go. Now the book off has been on our list of things that we want to check out. We saw online was a cool place you can sort of check out, books, cards, games, clothing, whatever, you name it. And this was just a smaller one that we'd seen, so we decided to pop in and check it out. One of the kids, Kai here, was really into the Pokemon cards and was able to grab a few. So it was fun to go see this for what it was, and I think we picked up a couple stuff ourselves. So here's the first book off we were at, and I got to experience that. Now, I didn't know what to make of this observation deck that my wife had been telling me about, but from the looks of it, it looked like it was pretty high up and it would make for a great view. Upon entering the elevator, it was dark, but it was quick as heck on the way up. It was about 5 times faster than any elevator that I've been in. So your ears popped, and then we were able to get this view. Now, it was on everyone's list to head down to Shibuya for the famous crosswalk that everyone sees online and in movies, but as you can see here, there were quite a few people that had the same idea as us, There's Troy there leading the pack, and there's some people off to the right there dancing for the Instagram. Everyone's making content, it seems like. But it was fun to see some cool shopping areas, and I was able to snag some apparel while I was down there. It wasn't quite as congested as other places, so it was, once you got off the main street there, it sort of quieted down. Now the Dodgers were playing the Cubs, I think, and it was crazy busy out of the terminals, off of the trains and whatnot, but we were doing some autograph signings, but we tried to stay away from there. Azabudai was a cool location for us because we wanted to head to Team Lab and check out all the cool spectacle that it was supposed to be, and it was that. So here's a little something for you guys. Okay, note to self, you're not supposed to film or take pictures of performers in public, which I found out. That was the first time I got in trouble, but I live and learn. Here we go again. I had to put this in here because no matter how many times we tried to pop in here, they kept telling us no. So we got the idea that it was locals only, which I guess seems to be a thing in Japan, but that's cool. Just got to give them a shout out for not letting us in. Used to it. Now, we were privy to waking up to some snow in Tokyo, which I'm told is not so common. So, not that this video fits in anywhere particularly, but I just wanted to show everybody how beautiful it was to come out outside the restaurant while we were eating and get some snow. So it was cool to see a few different types of weather in one trip. Alright, if you want to count it, this may be the second or third time that I had gotten in trouble. My wife suggested that we stop by and grab some milk. Our kid loves milk, and this is fresh milk in a glass. So I participated in this lovely event by getting some chocolate milk, and it was outstanding. But little did I know that you're not supposed to drink the milk and then take the glass with you. So I paid and started walking off, and then got told to come back. So reprimanded a second time. Okay, here we are, early morning. At least I think it's early. It's about 9 o'clock. We're headed to Senso-Ji. My wife is driving again. God bless her. Now, we thought we got there early, but as you can see, there were tons of people already there, which makes it tough and congested. But there were some shops that you can buy some stuff at, and so we went through the motions as usual.
I think he's a YouTuber holding a sign, so let's talk travelers.
Oh.
Now, as you can see, the temple was beautiful in itself, and there were some really cool things going on, like the smoke. You draw a gesture towards your face, and it symbolizes cleaning your body and your soul, and there was some water over in the corner as well, and symbolizes purity. But I did notice in the corner of my eye a food court.
What you got, Troy? Spiritual. The spiritual guide. Yes. Troy, my jokes aren't landing with you anymore because you can't hear out of that ear. Street food. Oh, Reed went headed right for it. You don't get a butt like that without some food. I'll come back. I'm gonna do a quick little thing of the market here.
Now, we come back to this Jumbo Frank guy because after having one, I was blown away by how good it was. It was like the meat was super clean, fresh, well cooked, well seasoned, so had to buy a second one.
She's so snippy, huh? God. Japanese? No.
Mm-hmm. Oh. But she doesn't think I'm Japanese. She's talking to me in English.
What you got there?
Octopus.
Go for it.
Prawns.
Mom, are you supposed to eat the
What's the consensus?
Oh, I could have skipped the mustard.
Oh, it's a spicy mustard.
I skipped the mustard. Yeah, it's spicy here.
I think I go through.
It's hot.
It's hot.
It's hot.
Thank you. Arigato. I like that you can buy liquor.
Sea dogs.
Well,
That has
cheese.
alcohol in it,
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, that's what it is.
And usually I don't shout out something negative, but the salt's in my right here, and I say salt because he's trying to sell fish on a stick, basically. But man, he was yelling at everybody. He wasn't having it. So instead of just trying one, which we were gonna do, we just passed on it. But I was sort of bummed about that. You probably keep asking yourself, why do these guys keep going to motorcycle shops? Well, we're motorcycle fans over here, so we decided to go visit another motorcycle shop, SCR Works, and we know the owner over there, so we decided to pop in with everybody and say hello and check out the scene. So it was pretty cool to see what kind of business he's running over there and his operations. Okay, our plans were to head out towards Kanagawa, and this van was full. I mean, there were 7 people inside, and there was about 7 pieces of luggage. So we maxed that baby out, but we enjoyed the ride over there, and as long as we weren't walking, we were doing okay. Another book off? Well, yes, actually, this is the original book off we wanted to go to. It's quite larger than the one that we had previously gone to. You can see the assortment of higher end books and bags and purses and watches. There's used and new. I'm sure people have seen everything online, so we just wanted to go in person and check it out. I don't think we grabbed anything while we were here, but we were definitely taking it all in for what it was worth, and it was quite the sight to see. I will not go through this entire store with you, but I will give you a montage to quickly give you a sense of how big this place is.
That's what I paid for mine.
Now, there were a couple of cool things about this stop. First being we get to go see my wife's good friend from when she was a child. And second, getting to park this car. We didn't know that there was this parking lot where you drive into, they close something behind you as you see here, and you get your butt out of there as quickly as you can, and then they take it away. So that was pretty unique to see.
There it goes. It's going.
Now, the second cool thing, or third, would be Aloha, the food factory. Now, we stopped by here to see my wife's good friend, but also her brother worked in the kitchen. So it was a 2-for-1. And on top of that, the food was amazing as usual. I think I lurk here and getting in people's way, but I really wanted to show how detail-oriented they are with the kids. They really make it fun and nutritional. The burgers here were pretty good, as I'm told. I didn't have a burger. I didn't want to keep doing that, so I was recommended some pancakes by the wife, and it took a little bit longer to prepare, but that's okay, right? So, oh, here they are in all their glory. She got strawberry, I think that was banana, and then something else here, an assortment over there, and then I got blueberries, but I think all of them are my favorite. I tried all of them, so it was really good. Okay, time to get the car back. So stick your little time slot card in. There you can see how the car is getting returned to you, at what platform, and there she is in all her glory. Okay, this is sort of the last leg of our trip using the car. My wife returned it that night, and we were headed to Yokohama. But we stopped at a huge park, which my kid definitely needed, a little playtime. So I decided to fly the drone. I got a really cool shot of the Yokohama Stadium. Yes, we made it. Yokohama. This is the last area for our trip, and we got a hotel over here at Appa Hotel. Sort of gave me that Vegas vibe. So we put in about 3 or 4 nights here, simply because of the location. It had an amusement park close by. It had tons of amenities, tons of restaurants, tons of shopping, and was a really beautiful area. So we decided on this, and when I say we, I mean the wife, and it was a great choice. As you guys can see entering here, it was beautiful, clean, very busy, but had adequate space for everybody. Now we woke up early and looked across from the hotel and saw that there was something going on. It turned out to be a dog festival. So why not go check it out? Now, I'm not one to get too excited about dog stuff, even though I own a dog, but it was really cool to see the amount of stuff they offer for dogs and the types of dogs that these people brought by for this festival. So that and the combination of, once again, good food, I was all in. All right, Cosmo World. That was cool. And then this is all within the vicinity of our hotel, so it made it really easy and not too much walking after like 17,000 steps a day. So we're just trying to entertain everyone, trying to relax, trying to take it all in. The weather was good, and I was able to sneak my camera onto a couple rides. I'm not sure if it was loud or not, but it was fun to film. Man, it was fun to just relax for the day in one location, have everything around us. And yep, there's the kid on the Ferris wheel. How you doing, Emma? And it was fun to just relax. And I mean, look at the site. I mean, everything's close by. We had a beautiful day, and we got to end our vacation on a high note. Since we had not been let in the Tokyo bar, we decided to try our hand over here in another bar that was Panama Red, and it was locally owned by a husband and wife. They welcomed us in, and we got to finish off the evening with a couple of cold beverages and relax. Kamakura.
That's me.
Oh boy, we got up early for this one to go see the shrine, and we weren't the only ones trying to get there. I mean, it was a smaller town, but it was packed. But we were up for it. We were there, and there were now 8 of us. My wife, Ree, had a longtime friend joining us there in the front, leading the pack, and we got to go see some beautiful things. Now, as you can see, there are more and more people coming out of the woodwork as the day got on with itself. The later it got, the more people came out. But we wanted to go see another temple, and so we're going to do it. I think at this point we had reached 20,000 steps for the day, and we were feeling it. But guess what? There's some more staircases, so we put in some extra work. Now, I did get a beautiful shot from the outside, but once I entered, I was not allowed to get any photos or video, but I was able to get some nice video footage of the garden that was surrounding it.
You guys have been to Japan?
This was a really unexpected favorite for not only myself, but a few of us, because my wife Ree had a little bit of a family reunion here, where her side of the family were able to get together with us and welcome us to Japan, but also say hi to everybody and have some good drinks and some good food. So we reserved the place for the day, and I wanted to be respectful of everybody in the family, so I just stopped filming here, but just wanted to show you where we were eating. This is day 14 in Japan, and we just wanted to end it sort of on a relaxing, enjoying the weather type of day, and get in that last minute shopping that everybody wanted to get. Some of those gifts. Look at the faces of those kids, they seem so happy. But we didn't have to walk too much. This was a couple trains away from our hotel, but it was sort of an open shop area that had a lot of amenities and also some things to do for the kids. So we got to grab a few last minute items and also entertain the kids and eat good food and keep it going. Now, it was funny because I've been looking for a pair of shoes in particular from Asics, and their skate shoes. I wasn't buying that much of anything else, but no matter where I looked, I could not find the pair. I guess they only had them in one shop over there while I was there, but that's okay. And here we are with some of the amenities that they had for the kids. You paid a couple bucks and you can pet a lot of the sea creatures there.
It's like that static. It feels like that.
2 weeks in Japan, 35 destinations, 6 prefectures, 17,000 steps a day, beautiful photos, and a great video, and great memories. What a opportunity we had to go over there. I want to say thank you to Ree's side of the family for having us, and Ree for putting this whole thing together. It was a beautiful once-in-a-lifetime vacation, and it makes me want to go back as soon as I save up. Thanks again.